The second item, Chris, here, it's a little bit of a loaded question, a little bit of a trick question. Are your search terms supposed to be perfect? If so, are they? So why don't you just get us started here talking about, what a search term is for people that don't know, and then maybe what we mean by perfect.
Right. So, a search term is the most basic level of qualifying what you're paying for on google.com. When someone does a search, they have to type words into Google Ads into google.com in order for Google to provide some type of search results. That basic transaction is a peek into that person's mind. Okay. So if they type baby birthday party, you know pretty much kind of what's on their mind. You know what they're looking for. But if they type custom wedding cake, these are both people that are interested in special events, but you sell wedding cakes. So now suddenly there's a huge difference between baby birthday party and wedding cake. The only way that you can tell the difference between those two clicks, because they are just the same thing, they're still just clicks. The only way you can tell the difference in the value between those clicks is to look at the search terms. And as Jason always talks about, your search terms should be near perfect. They should be absolutely 90, 95%, 99%
99, yeah.
exactly what you are selling, with some small variances here and there. And if they're not, you're possibly wasting a lot of money here as well.
Well, possibly, and that's the key thing here. So the perfect search term to me is someone doing a search that shows they are looking for what you offer. Not they might be, but they are. So an example would be like a doctor. So if you're a foot doctor, they would be doing a search, foot doctors near me. That shows they are looking for what you offer. If they do a search, doctors in Dallas, and you're in Dallas, well, they might want a foot doctor, but there's plenty of other kind of doctors that they might be looking for, and they might want you, they might not. And a perfect search term is someone that definitely wants what you offer. But the kind of tricky thing here is like, are you set up to are you supposed to have perfect search terms? And different strategies call for perfect search terms and some don't. So like if you're running a phrase and exact match campaign in terms of your keyword match types, you should have perfect search terms. You're trying to show up on these exact kinds of keywords and searches, so you're targeting phrase and exact. If you're running broad match keywords though, and you're doing like target CPA bidding with only broad match keywords, I would say in that case, perfect search terms, not having them is okay because you're not supposed to have them. If you're going to run broad match keywords, the whole point is to focus on the search, but also the person doing the search and the context around them doing that search and what Google knows about them, and then optimize for what people and searches are getting conversions. And if you're doing all broad match, your search terms are not going to look that pretty sometimes, and that's okay. It's just kind of knowing as a business owner what you're going for. So do you think that's too nuanced for business owners, Chris, or do you think that's a good way to look at it? Like the broad keywords versus the phrase and exact, perfect search terms versus not.
See, well, the way you phrased your question, I mean, I've worked with a lot of people, and you have too, so it's no secret that they may get it, but from hearing it to the translation to the work of what they're trying to accomplish, it it is simple, but I don't think that people quite understand level of value and the integrity of one click versus the value of another click. I don't think that people quite get that, but
So if I'm hearing you right, you kind of for small business owners, if they're just starting out, if they're trying to get their Google Ads account dialed in,
no.
you would more focus on forget is it supposed to be perfect or not? Are you running broad or not? That your answer is no, it is supposed to be perfect, and that's
Yeah.
where you start.
I think the starting place is
Yeah.
try and get the best traffic quality. Do not go for anything outside of bottom of funnel, best quality traffic. Then prove that you can do that,
Mhm.
then move to other areas and sample outside. But I rarely find people that know how to successfully build a campaign that is true bottom of funnel quality of traffic, and show that they can maintain that and understand the metrics and read the dashboard properly. That's a problem because they're roofers, they're dentists out there. They're not Google Ads professionals. So
Yeah, they're not thinking about the context of a broad keyword search and
right.
the searches the person has done before and getting all the maybe they don't have all the conversion tracking in place like we talked about earlier. I think that's a good point. And you can't go wrong with that. Like you cannot go wrong doing the best thing first, which is deep funnel search terms, people looking for exactly what you offer. Max those out, do a great job at that, and then branch out into target CPA bidding with broad and that kind of stuff. If you're wanting to do it this way, where you kind of do both worlds, but there are a lot of small business owners in here that just throw in some broad keywords. And I think if you have your tracking in place, it's not the worst thing to do. But the key thing is having your tracking in place so you can make the most of that system.